Hello children, hope everyone is fine. We'll start with class 8 mathematics, magic of mathematics. Let's talk about the syllabus first. For the first term we have rational numbers, exercise 1.2 and 1.3, exponents, sets, ratio proportion including the proportional parts, inequations, circles and data handling. The chapter that we are going to start today is chapter number 20, circles. So let's begin the chapter. Chapter 20, circles. Now we'll begin with what is a circle. Circle is a round circular figure which is made up of points, and all these points are equidistant from the center point. The point here, in the middle of the circle, is called the center of the circle, and this boundary of the circle is called the circumference of the circle. So you can see here, this is the center of the circle. Now coming to the next term, which is radius. From the center to any part of the boundary of the circle, a line segment that is drawn is called a radius. So radius is basically a line segment from the center of the circle to any part on the boundary. We can draw as many radii as we want, like from center to any part of the boundary. So these are the radii, and all the radii of the circle are equal. Coming to chord. A line segment from one end of the circle to the other end of the circle is called a chord. Now you can see from one end to the other end, this is also a chord. But when a chord passes through the center, it becomes the diameter. So diameter is nothing else but a chord that passes through the center of the circle. Now let's find out the relationship between R, which stands for radius, D, that stands for diameter. Radius is actually half of diameter. So in order to find out radius, we apply the formula 1 by 2 multiplied by D, or D divided by 2. And D, that's diameter, is double of radius. So in order to find out diameter, it's 2 multiplied by R. Now coming to the next term, as you all can see, this is a circle. There are some points inside the circle, there are some points outside the circle, and whereas there are few points on the boundary of the circle. So all the points which lie in the interior of the circle are called interior points. All the points which lie outside the circle are called exterior points, and the points on the boundary of the circle are called the points to be on the circle. So from this figure, the interior points are A, B, C, including the center O. Exterior points are D, E, F, and the points on the circle are G and H. Now let's talk about the circular region. All the interior points plus the points on the circle form a circular region. So the points in the circular region are A, B, C, G, H and O, because O is the center of the circle. Now coming to secant. Circle, center point. A line that passes through the circle, cutting it at two distinct points, is called a secant. Tangent. A line passing from outside the circle, touching at one point, is called the tangent of the circle. The point at which the tangent touches the circle is called point of contact. So here in this figure, T is the point of contact. Now let's talk about few more things related to tangent. Only one tangent at a point can be drawn on the circle, and two equal tangents can be drawn from a point outside the circle. Now what is an arc? A part of the circle is called an arc. In detail, let's talk. When I say a part of the circle is called an arc, the smaller part is called the minor arc, and the bigger part is called the major arc. We can also say that minor arc is less than half of the whole arc and major arc is more than half of the whole arc. Now, angle subtended by an arc, it's also called a central angle. When the arc combines with two radii of the circle, we get one angle, or we get the central angle. The portion between the two radii and the minor arc is called the minor sector, whereas the portion between the two arcs and the major arc is called the major sector. Let's move on to semicircle. Half of a circle is called a semicircle. So whether it's towards the left or towards the right, so there are two halves. So basically there are two semicircles. Now we all know, we have already done what's a chord. In a circle, a line segment from one end of the circle to the other end of the circle is called a chord. Now a chord divides a circle into two segments. The smaller portion is called the minor segment and the bigger portion is called the major segment. Also we can say that minor segment is a part with the minor arc and major segment is a part with the major arc. Now, angle in a semicircle. We should know that when we talk about a semicircle, the angle drawn in a semicircle is always right. Now, right means it's always equal to 90 degrees. So, with reference to this figure, we can say that angle ACB is equal to 90 degrees. Now, children, we'll begin with the exercise. Now, let's see the questions from the exercise. Your first three questions, that's question number 1, question number 2 and question number 3, fill-ups and true and false. Just go through and try the questions yourself. We'll discuss the answers later. Now we'll move on to question number 5. Question 4. C is a fixed point in a plane and point P moves in the same plane such that CP is equal to 8 centimeter. State the name of the figure, the length of the diameter. CQ is 6, whether point Q lies inside or outside the circle. Now that's the figure. CP is 8 centimeters. So what type of figure is being formed? So the name of the figure is a circle. The second part is, what is the diameter of the circle? We all know that radius, if radius is 8 centimeter, diameter is double of the radius. So diameter is 2 multiplied by radius, so 2 into 8. So the diameter is equal to 16 centimeter. And if CQ is equal to 6 centimeter, point Q lies inside or outside. Now from C, if we draw a line segment of 6 centimeter, obviously it's less than the radius, so it's going to lie inside the circle. Now moving on to question number 5. The diameter of a circle is 15 centimeter. O is the center of the circle. We have to give the reasons for the position of the following points P, Q and R. Now let's see here. That's the figure. The position of points P, Q and R. First of all, they have given you the diameter, which is 15 centimeters. So we'll find out the radius. D upon 2, that's 15 by 2, 7.5 centimeters. First part, OP is given to us as 7 centimeter. Now you can see OP 7 centimeter. It is less than the radius. So when a line segment is drawn from the center point, which is less than the radius, it will lie inside the circle because it's less than the radius. OQ is 9 centimeters, more than the radius, so obviously it will lie outside because it is more than the radius. OR is 7.5. Now you can see it's actually equal to the radius, so it will lie on the circle. We'll move on to the next question. Question number 6. In the given figure is there given alongside the question. In the given figure, triangle PQR is inscribed in a circle with a center O. Angle QPR is 47 degrees. We have to find angle PQR. This is the figure given for the question. Now let's see here. Now, this is a triangle which is in a semicircle. So in triangle PQR, angle QPR is given to us as 47 degrees and we have to find angle PQR. It's a question mark. So first of all, angle PRQ is equal to 90 degrees. Why is it equal to 90 degrees? Because it is angle in a semicircle, and as per the property of a semicircle, angle in a semicircle is always a right angle. Now we'll use the angle sum property. Angle QPR plus angle PRQ plus angle PQR is equal to 180 degrees. Why is it 180 degrees? Because of the angle sum property, which means that sum of three angles in a triangle is always equal to 180 degrees. Angle QPR given to us as 47 degrees. Angle PQR already calculated by angle in a semicircle property 90 degrees, and angle PQR, which is not given to us, is equal to 180 degrees. Adding 47 and 90 degrees, it's 137. Now 137 to the left becomes minus 137 to the right. So angle PQR is equal to 180 degrees minus 137 degrees. Therefore, angle PQR is equal to 43 degrees. Now moving on to the next question. Question number 7. Triangle ABC is inscribed in a circle with a center O. AB is equal to AC. Find angle ACB and angle ABC. This is the figure given for the question. Now let's move on to the next question, number 7. Again, you can see the triangle is in the semicircle. So we'll begin with the same properties. The name of the triangle is triangle ABC. So in triangle ABC, first of all, the first thing that's given to us is AB is equal to AC. AB is equal to AC. We should know that when two sides of a triangle are equal, it's an isosceles triangle, and as per the property of isosceles triangle, angles opposite to the equal sides are always equal. Next, angle ACB, which is angle ACB, this is a missing angle here. Angle ABC, ABC, which is also missing. So basically in this figure we have no measure given. So we'll begin. First thing is, as per the property of isosceles triangle, angle ABC is equal to angle ACB. Why is it equal? We have just now read that angles opposite to the equal sides are also equal, and the angles opposite to the equal sides are angle ABC and angle ACB. Let's take angle ABC equals to angle ACB as X. Angle BAC, which is this angle BAC, is equal to 90 degrees. Now why is it equal to 90 degrees? Because angle in a semicircle is always right. We'll begin the angle sum property now. Angle ABC, this angle, plus angle ACB, this angle, plus angle BAC, that's this angle, is equal to 180 degrees, again by angle sum properties. Angle ABC taken as X, angle ACB taken as X, angle BAC calculated as 90 degree by semicircle property is equal to 180 degrees. When you add X and X, it becomes 2X, plus 90 on the left becomes minus 90 on the right. 2x is equal to 90 degrees, x is equal to 90 by 2. On cutting we get 45 degrees. So the value of x is equal to 45 degrees. Now what was x taken as? X was actually angle ABC and angle ACB. So therefore angle ACB is equal to 45 degrees as well as angle ABC is also equal to 45 degrees. Now we'll move on to the next question. Question number 8. Find the length of the tangent drawn to a circle of radius 4 cm from a point at a distance of 5 cm from the center. Now you can see for this question the figure is not given. So the first thing that we are going to do is we'll draw the figure and let's see what is missing here. They're asking you to find the length of the tangent. So we draw a circle. The radius is given to us as 4 cm. We have to find the length of the tangent. Now what is the tangent? A line touching the circle at one point. So here this is the tangent and the distance from the center to the tangent is 5 centimeters. So on naming the figure we get one triangle AOB. And now, as per the property of tangent, the point at which the tangent touches the circle is always a right angle, forms a right angle. So point B, which is a point of contact, so we can say that angle ABO or OBA is equal to 90 degrees. So it is a right triangle. So triangle AOB is a right triangle by Pythagoras theorem, PT. It's Pythagoras theorem. Now what is a Pythagoras theorem? In a right triangle, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus perpendicular square. H stands for hypotenuse. Now what is hypotenuse? The side opposite to the right angle is hypotenuse, which is actually the longest side in a triangle. Out of the other two sides, any one side can be taken as the base and the other can be taken as the perpendicular. So B stands for base and P stands for perpendicular. Now, on the basis of this figure, hypotenuse is OA. Base we can either take as OB or AB. So I'm taking here as OB as the base and AB as the perpendicular. Now, as per the Pythagoras theorem, OA square is equal to OB square plus AB square. OA is given to us as 5 centimeters, so 5 square. OB is given to us as 4 centimeters, so 4 square plus AB square. Square of 5 is 25, square of 4 is 16 and AB square remains AB square. Take this plus 16 to the other side, becomes minus 16 is equal to AB square. 25 minus 16 is equal to 9, which is equal to AB square. Now, square rooting both the sides or putting both the sides under the square root of 9, and this is AB square, putting it another root. Square and root will get cancelled and square root of 9 is equal to 3. So therefore the value of AB is equal to 3. Now what is AB? As per the figure, AB is the tangent. So therefore AB, which is the tangent, is equal to 3 centimeters. Now we'll move on to the next question. Question number 9. In the given figure, AT is a tangent drawn to a circle with a center O. OA is 17 centimeter, AT is 15 centimeter. You have to find the radius of the circle. Now figure is already given to us. So basically we have to find the radius, that is OT, from center to the boundary. We have to find the value of OT. Let's check the solution now. So again, this point T, which is a point of contact, AT is a tangent. So at point T, we'll be having a 90 degree angle formed as per the property of tangent. So basically it's a right triangle. So OA 17, AT 15, and we have to find the radius, and whereas in this figure radius is OT. Triangle AOT is a right triangle, or we can also say that in triangle AOT. Again, by using the Pythagoras theorem states that square of hypotenuse is always equal to the sum of the squares of base and perpendicular. According to this figure, the side which is opposite to 90 degrees, that is OA, is hypotenuse, and out of the other two sides, any one side can be taken as the base and the other can be taken as the perpendicular. So OA square is equal to OT square plus AT square. OA is 17, so 17 square is equal to OT square plus 15 square. Square of 17 is 289, which is equal to OT square plus square of 15 is 225. Now in the next step, 225 will be taken to the left side and it will become minus 225. 289 minus 225 is equal to OT square. Subtracting it, we get 64 is equal to OT square. Now putting both the sides under the square root, so or square rooting both the sides. Square root of 64 is equal to OT square, square root. Square and root will get cancelled. And square root of 64 is 8 is equal to OT. Now what is OT? That's the radius. So OT, which is the radius of the circle, is equal to 8 centimeters. Now moving on to the last question. In the given figure, O is the center of the circle. If angle BAD is 30 degrees, angle ABC is equal to 55 degrees, find angle BAC and find angle ABD. That's the figure given to us. Now you can see there are two triangles, one in the upper semicircle of the circle and one in the lower semicircle. Now let's check the solution. This is the figure. First of all, let's see what is given. Angle BAD 30 degrees, ABC 55 degrees, and we have to find angle BAC in the upper semicircle and angle ABD in the lower semicircle. So we'll first start with the upper semicircle. Again, you can see in the upper semicircle, that's triangle ABC. So in triangle ABC, angle ACB, this angle, Angle ACB is 90 degree. Why is it 90 degrees? Because it's an angle in a semicircle. Angle ABC is 55. This one, it's already given to us. And angle BAC, which is missing, that is angle BAC. This is missing angle. Now we'll use angle sum property. ACB plus angle ABC plus angle BAC is equal to 180 degrees. Angle sum property. This is calculated as 90 degrees. This is given to us as 55 degrees. And this is missing, equal to 180 degrees. 90 and 55, when we add, we get 145, and plus 145 on one left side becomes minus 145 on the right side. So therefore angle BAC is equal to 180 degrees minus 145 degrees. The value that we get for angle BAC is equal to 35 degrees. Now for the second part, we'll take the same figure, but now it's the lower semicircle, and this is the angle we have to find out. In triangle ABD, angle BAD is 30 degrees and angle ADB is equal to 90 degrees. Now which is angle ADB? This is angle ADB. Why is it 90 degrees? Because again, it's the angle in the semicircle, and as per the property of semicircle, it's always a right angle. So this is equal to 90 degrees. And the third angle, which is angle ABD, it is missing. So again, we'll use angle BAD plus angle ADB plus angle ABD is equal to 180 degrees as per the angle sum property. Given 30 degrees, calculated as 90 degrees, angle ABD is equal to 180 degrees. 30 and 90 degrees on adding becomes 120 degrees. So plus 120 on the left becomes minus 120 on the right. So angle ABD is equal to 180 degrees minus 120 degrees. Angle ABD is equal to 60 degrees. So here we finish the chapter. Now I request everyone to solve the questions from the integrated exercise and the examples which are given to you, and revise the chapter at home. We'll try to discuss it in the next topic. Thank you.